Good morning. I want to welcome everybody to this morning's groundbreaking. Obviously, I want to thank Mayor Lee for being here this morning. Supervisor Jane Kim and the President of the Board, David Chu, are on the way. And then we have so many other people I want to recognize. Obviously, my counterpart from the Fire Department, Chief Hayes White, Chief Joanne Hayes White.
Hi, Chief.
I'm sorry, Supervisor Malia Cohen from District 10. Interim DPW Director, who is going to make this building happen, Mohammed Nuru. Chief Administrative Officer Amy Brown, Port Director Monique Moyer, City Engineer Fuad Schweiss, President of the Police Commission Thomas Mizuko, San Francisco Redevelopment Association Fred Blackwell, our Safe Director Irina Chasova, and then of course the Project Manager and the Communications Director for the Public Safety Building, Charles Segueras and Gloria Chan. And anybody else that I forgot from our city-state family, especially our community members, I'm happy to welcome you to this groundbreaking. And it is a very happy celebratory day here for police and fire. And it seems very apropos that it's on the weekend that we're going to be remembering our fallen police and firefighters that fell just about 10 years ago today. And if I could ask everybody for just a moment of silence in their memory. Thank you. There's been an incredible amount of behind-the-scenes work and planning that's been done to get us to this point today. This is where the 290,000 square foot public safety building will stand in, I believe I'm told, 2013 sometime. This facility will provide the infrastructure to withstand just about any natural or man-made disaster, and it will house a fire station, Southern Police Station, and the Police Command Center for the City of San Francisco. In the event of a disaster, this administration building will provide the seismically safe and secure building from which we can direct our response and serve our community when they're going to be most in need to help the city respond and recover. Consider the changes the Bryant Street Hall of Justice since the Bryant Street Hall of Justice was built. Just to think about, as you look behind me, we see the home of our world champion Giants. We were playing at Seal Stadium just over here at 16th and Bryant when the Hall of Justice was built. Times change, and just look around us at how the Mission Bay community is popping up, it seems like every day. I'd like to, at this point in time, invite Mayor Lee to come up and make some comments.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you very much. And again, it's my pleasure to be with both chiefs and their commissions and all the various departments that have been listed. You know, this effort has involved a lot of people, and we call it the ESER building, the Earthquake Safety and Emergency Response Building, the bond that created the effort. But it was part of the 10-year capital plan that had been started when I was the city administrator and working with all the other departments about what we could do to kind of begin the process of replacing the Hall of Justice. That is one of the most dangerous buildings that we're forced to still use after all these years because we haven't been able to replace it. So we decided to take it by phases. And so one of the first phases that we were able to do is move out the police chief and the police station out there and be able to locate here at the new public safety building. And in the best efforts of the collaboration that we've done with all the departments to be able to combine a neighborhood police station, the police command staff, a fire station, and at the same time be able to also reuse this building you see right back here as part of the plan. This brick building that used to house an old fire station, actually.
Right,
Station 30 will be repurposed so that it will be used as a community room and also for the arson task force. That'll also be right here at the center. So not only are we moving this out, but we're doing it for one of the most important purposes, and that's our public safety in the city. And I can't repeat it enough that what the chief had earlier said, Chief Serd earlier said that in commemoration of 10 years of 9/11, that not only are we commemorating the people who died there, but we're actually doing something about it, physically doing something about it here. And with the spade of dirt that we'll turn today, and maybe with some pounding in the concrete, we'll be able to actually physically start this process that will, again in 2014, when we come back, we'll be able to cut the ribbon on this brand new public safety building and make sure that the first responders in the city have a safe building to work in every single day. And that the commissioners and the policymakers in this city know that we are putting ourselves, our whole city safety family, into a much more safer building. And to make sure that we also are putting safety first for the whole residents. While we're doing it, you'll also see that this whole community, as the chief mentioned, is building. You see buildings going around here. You see transportation lines. You've seen already the library that's being built here, a health medical building that's right now. So why not have the local badly needed fire and police combined station right here to service all of the new residents that will be moving in the thousands in the next few years. So it's important that we pay attention to our infrastructure, and that we also do it in a way in which we create jobs. And the jobs that'll be here, over 700 construction jobs begin right here with the spade turning this dirt today. And in 2 years, 3 years max, we will see this station open up. And that's a testament to our commitment here. And I need to thank the voters of San Francisco that made it possible last June when they passed this $412 million bond. It's a two-phase bond. The first phase was looking at the auxiliary water system that we have in the city, and I know the fire chief's going to talk about that in a minute. But it also has to do with this public safety building that is so invaluable to our first responders. So I want to thank everybody for coming together. I want to also thank the Board of Supervisors. I see David Chu, the board president, just arrived, and Malia Cohen is here. Jane Kim will be along if she's not already here as well, because we're working together to make sure our infrastructure is taken care of. And that's the additional discipline and the fiscal discipline that we've adhered to since the 10-year capital plan had been unveiled, and working in that discipline, promising the voters that these valuable projects, like a public safety building, do get done. They get done on time and on budget. We honor that, and we move on with all the other plans that we have with the 10-year capital infrastructure plan, taking care of our business. And tonight, as many of you know, the President's going to be talking, President of the United States is going to be talking about the infrastructure commitment that our country has to make. We're making that commitment right here. We started it years ago. We're doing the right thing here. And I want to thank everybody behind me for coming together and making sure this happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, before the President of the United States speaks tonight, the President of the Board of Supervisors, David Chu, is going to speak now.
Thank you for that, Chief. So, first of all, I want to apologize for being late. I was just in committee, but needed to get down here because of how important today's announcement is. In 1906, our city was not as prepared as we would have wanted to be. And in the aftermath of the last great earthquake, we built one of the greatest public safety infrastructures here in San Francisco that was heralded around the world. We have underground auxiliary water systems that were unparalleled at their time. We built fire stations, we built police stations, and then 100 years later, our capital planning team realized that we needed to come together to really reinvest. And I'm so proud that last year the city came together with Proposition B to make sure that we passed a $412 million bond that's not only going to create thousands of jobs, but we're going to make sure that we are ready for the next one. And we are positive that there will be an earthquake within the next 30 years with a 2/3 probability. And we also know, given our proximity to 9/11, that we have to be prepared for whatever comes at us. I want to thank the men and women in uniform who are around us, who are doing the hard work every day. I want to thank also the leadership of the city last year for moving this forward. I also want to thank all the members of the private sector that have worked with the city to make sure that we are prepared and that we are building great public safety buildings and great public safety infrastructure. And I know from the board's perspective, we look forward to working with the mayor and the administration and the entire community to ensure that we are ready. So congratulations, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, President Chu. As we spoke earlier, this will not be just a police building. We'll be sharing this building with our firefighters. And to speak next, the Chief of the San Francisco Fire Department, Joanne Hayes-White.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Chief Sir. It's a spectacular day for everyone that lives and works here in San Francisco. I'm very proud to be serving as your fire chief. I think it's wonderful as a native San Franciscan to also be able to maintain this beautiful structure that is in front of me and behind many of you. And that's, as Mayor Lee referenced, Old Station 30. I'm delighted that that will still be here, a piece of the city's history. As we speak, though, we will be breaking ground today on a state-of-the-art facility. In the San Francisco Fire Department, we will be sharing the footprint with the San Francisco Police Department. It makes good sense. We're public safety partners, but this is the first time we'll actually have a shared footprint to be able to carry out our shared mission of protecting the public and keeping them safe. I'd like to acknowledge my command staff and all the members of the San Francisco Fire Department. We have 3 commissioners from the Fire Commission that are here today. We also have our NERD program, which is very timely, particularly as we talk about 9/11. It's something that we talk about all the time in terms of the community's ability to be prepared, because this is what this facility is all about, is preparedness. And if the community is prepared, it will make our jobs in public safety that much more streamlined when we need to really go to work. I'm proud to have 17,000 square feet of this footprint that will house a new neighborhood fire station. As you can tell, there's work being done all around us, and in order to be able to keep up with the growth and development, we certainly need a new neighborhood fire station, which will house an engine company and a truck company, 9 new firefighters working here once the project has been completed. There are so many people to thank. It's not just about the police and the fire department. It's about our community, and it's about what I would call the unsung heroes of city government. Under Mayor Lee's leadership, we're all working together in a very well-coordinated manner to make this project happen. Capital Planning, DPW, everyone that's been involved in this project. Most importantly, again, as Mayor Lee referenced and President Chu, the voters. Last year in June, in a difficult economy, voters spoke loud and clear on Prop B, the Easter bond. They wanted to make sure that they told us that public safety was a priority. We're so grateful to having a supportive community. We'd like to thank everyone for their support and for joining us here today. I also see someone from Senator Mark Leno's office. Anna is here with us. Mayor Lee asked me to acknowledge Senator Leno, who couldn't be here, sent you to celebrate with us. It is about celebration, and as Chief Sir mentioned, very much about commemorating what happened 10 years ago. It's timely that this groundbreaking is taking place today, as our hearts still remain heavy for what happened 10 years ago on 9/11. And it's in honor and memory of the nearly 3,000 people, innocent victims that lost their lives on 9/11, that we move forward. We move forward in planning, in preparing, in responding, and recovering. And the best way to honor their memory is to make sure we have resilience as it relates to the public safety. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Chief. Next to speak will be the interim director of the DPW, which will be responsible for the construction of this building, Mohammed Nuru.
I'd like to join the city family in this great day today in San Francisco. I spent 10 years of my city time working and doing all the repairs at the Hall of Justice. So I feel really great that today has come, because I can tell you all the stories about the Hall of Justice. It served us very, very well, but today we're groundbreaking for a new building which will solve many of the concerns that we have, and the building will allow us to be ready for the next one, to be able to respond with all our fire chiefs and all our police chiefs. For many of you, the Easter bond is being managed by DPW, all components of it, and that would include repair and upgrade of the emergency firefighting and water system. It would also will also have oversight for seismically and retrofit for improving of many of the fire stations. So not only are we breaking ground for this new headquarters, but many of the fire stations will also be receiving improvements as well as our firefighting water system. The building and the goal of the building is to be designed to meet the LEED gold standards, and so we're very happy about that. And as you heard, the size of the building is a 6-story building with 290,000 square feet of space that will be in it. A unique feature which Mayor Lee talked about is actually preserving the old fire station here, and that fire station will be made available to community groups for meetings and space that can be used for events. As part of our team, I would like to thank HOK. They are our architects who have designed the building and will be working with us. I would like to thank Charles Pankal, who is the contractor on the project and also provide all the refreshments for today's event. Obviously, our Deputy Director for Engineering, Fuad Suisse, the team that will be engaged in putting this building together, led by architect Charles Higueras, Samuel Chu, Jim Bucher, Edgar Lopez, and all the DPW management team. I'd like to thank them. Our Public Affairs, who's working with all the neighbors and will be keeping everyone informed, led by Gloria Chan, the DC, and Lindsay Minsky, who have all been working. And everyone here, all our fire commissioners, our police commissioners, staff from the redevelopment agency, Fred Blackwell, our interim city administrator, I'd like to thank you, and all the supervisors and everyone here, and most especially SF NERT, who will be also part of this process. And of course, the Mission Bay community and all San Francisco residents. Today is a great day, and I'm honored to be here and part of this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. I also want to acknowledge Mark Cavanero of Mark Cavanero and Associates. Since we mentioned HOK, they're partners in the building of this building. And the redevelopment agency director, Fred Blackwell, who oversees the agency responsible for so many projects popping up all over San Francisco to push our city forward, is going to be our next speaker. Fred?
Thank you. Well, it is definitely an honor to be here with the Chief of Police and Chief of Fire and the city family to dedicate this building and celebrate the groundbreaking for it. Just a couple of things about the neighborhood. The building, public safety building, sits in the middle of, is the very important contributor to a brand new neighborhood here in Mission Bay. A neighborhood that is, I think, the prototype for urban infill development. It is transit oriented, it is mixed use, it is mixed income. There will be 6,000 units of housing, a lot of which will be affordable when this work is all complete. There will be more than 40 acres of new parks and open space in Mission Bay, and millions of square feet of commercial and retail space. That includes down the street a new Salesforce.com campus. It includes new Children's Hospital. It includes brand new and emerging and burgeoning biotech industry here in this city. And without the leadership of several mayors, board of supervisors, and the tools of redevelopment, frankly, with all due respect to the mayor, it would still be, and other avid golfers, it would still be known as the place that had a golfing range surrounded by industrial property and railroads. And so I think it's important to acknowledge not only the leadership of the city family to make this happen, but also the very important tool of redevelopment to make this happen. And I will close by saying that I continue to be mystified with accomplishments like this by the fact that we right now are in the fight to stay alive. And so I hope that you all will continue to support redevelopment. I hope that it will be around to create new communities, including the Hunters Point Shipyard down the way. So thank you.
Thank you, Fred. For our last speaker, Irina Chatsova, the director of Project SAFE, which is safety awareness for everyone, who will also be attended here in the building and is a great partner of ours as we try to keep our city safe. Irina?
Thank you. Thank you. As Chief Sir said, I am representing a very small non-profit sponsored by the police department. Actually, 35 years ago, we used to be Project SAFE of police department. And although we've been a non-profit for the last 20-something years, we still are Project SAFE, as Chief Sir said, because in a way, we still are a part of the police department. And it feels good because everything we do every day, all our efforts are focused on strengthening the relationship between the police department and the community. You know, coming from Russia, I know how mistrust of police feels like. And maybe that's why I'm that passionate about assisting the police department in strengthening and building and strengthening relationship with the San Francisco diverse communities. And all of my colleagues are as passionate as I am, because we organized, over the years, we've organized hundreds and hundreds of neighborhood watch groups. We gave so many presentations, we did security surveys for those who live and work in San Francisco. And what can be a better testament to the great partnership between the police department, the fire department, and the communities is that this new building. I know that it took a lot of people many years to get to where we are right now, but the community support is what made it happen. And it's a milestone not only for the departments, it's a milestone for the city of San Francisco. It's a milestone for the diverse communities of San Francisco. I'm very excited, and congratulations.
Thank you, Irina. Okay, so we're going to get to the matter at hand. The courageous police and fire, we're going to go get a shovel while the mayor's going to climb on top of
It's a whole round. It's called
So I just asked, it says, tell the mayor to go over to the backhoe. And I was like, he said, yeah, I got that. So, okay, here's our, the little DVW coming
I
back.
apologize if I run over anybody or...
We have plenty of emergencies. Anyway, Mr. Mayor's going to use the backhoe, and can I ask all the other speakers to come around here and grab a spade?
This is great. Very good. Awesome. I know I said, we got that. An ambulance standing by, this up to your
This isn't your average everyday groundbreaking.
Thank you, Pat Cow, for your insurance. All right, everybody. We're going to throw it over this way. Huh?
You're tossing towards where you broke down.
Yeah.
All right. You do a countdown?
Countdown. All right. Just toss it over this way. 3, 2, 1. Do it. All right. Okay, none of you work the DPW.
Again. All right, well, one more time. Request for more shots.